Fire and water damage restoration is an important part of restoring your property. Once the fire is out, your insurance provider will send an adjuster to assess the extent of damage and determine your insurance coverage. If the damages are severe, your contractor may need to reconstruct your home or hire a construction company to fix your property. This is something to consider before hiring a contractor. The insurance company should reimburse the cost of any repairs and any temporary living expenses. The most important aspect of fire and water damage restoration is cleaning. Once the fire has been put out, the corrosive byproducts of the fire will remain in the property. These byproducts will damage furnishings, surfaces, and even duct work. If you have a lot of accumulated smoke in your home, it may be necessary to sanitize and remove it using special equipment. Aside from removing lingering odors caused by the fire, your restoration company will also clean the building's interior and exterior to prevent further damage. When selecting a fire damage restoration company, it's important to remember that a fire restoration company will assess the damage to your property and look for water damage. Afterwards, they'll take the items from your home and determine if they can be salvaged. If they can, these items will be taken to an off-site facility where they'll be cleaned and restored. You can expect a professional to arrive in as little as 1 business day. When your home has been affected by a fire, the damage done by the water will be reflected in the structural integrity of the structure. This is why you'll need to hire a fire and water damage restoration company. The experts at Rainbow International will assess the damage and get your home back to normal as quickly as possible. So, what can you do? What should you do? What are your options? We've listed the top 3 ways you can use fire and water damage restoration companies to get your home back to its pre-fire state. A fire and water damage restoration company will provide emergency services in the area where the damage occurred. In addition to removing the damaged items, your fire and water restoration company will also remove any remaining traces of water. The restoration process is essential to get your home back to a normal state. After a fire, you can call your local fire and flood damage restoration company to assess and fix the damages. They can help you decide if your insurance company should pay for the repair. Professional fire and water damage restoration professionals will perform a thorough assessment of your property. They will determine the extent of the damage and make recommendations. They will also conduct water damage cleanup. Once you call for the fire and water damage restoration professionals, the first step you should take is to air out your property. You should prop open doors of cabinets and drawers and remove floor rugs. Foiling can also help to prevent water from seeping into the furniture. A fire and water damage restoration specialist will first attempt to restore your property. Depending on the severity of the damage, the restoration process may last days or even weeks. The first priority after a fire is to stop further damage and plug all holes. During this time, a professional may have to replace damaged items or repair structural issues. However, if the fire is contained in a small space, the restoration process will take less time. After a fire or flood, it is important to hire fire and water damage restoration professionals. These professionals will stabilize your home after the fire has been put out. Once the fire has been extinguished, they will dry up the affected areas so mold won't grow. After this, they will assess the extent of smoke and soot damage. They will also clean up all of the water and mold in your home. You can then call a certified company to help you restore your property. A fire and water damage restoration company will do more than clean up the damage. A fire and water damage cleanup company will thoroughly manage both types of damage. They will make sure the property is safe to enter and work efficiently. Aside from fire and water damage restoration, Belfa will provide assistance to arson investigators and forensic investigators. Their services include emergency board-up services and site containment. They will also assist in aerial photos.